Before we get into this video, boys, I do want to give a shout out to Mainframe ARK for sponsoring this video. Mainframe ARK is wiping on the 16th of April at 3 PM EST. It is a 6-man tribes PvP cluster with 10 times taming, 5 times XP and harvesting, as well as a huge point shop and new player protection. They also have active staff and frequent server events, so make sure you check out their Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, let's get into today's episode. I'm going to be spending this entire video in space, and to be honest, it was probably one of my best wipe days in a very long time. So at the time, my tribe mate was actually stuck on Crystal Isles as the map had gone down, so I had the job of going over to Luna and claiming the cave. With the cave now being ours, I then farmed up a little bit of metal to get the forges smelting so that we'd have a bit of metal to put towards some turrets, as we'd need to rush these pretty quickly as it wouldn't be long before people ended up turning up. I then crafted and placed a behemoth gate to now make our cave 1c4 in order to raid it. This would also stop any bobs or fresh spawns from being able to just wander into our cave and take any of our loot when we weren't at base. About 20 minutes after that, we then had enough resources to stick up 2 heavy turrets. Now, the main thing we would need is a DPS dino, so that if anyone did pull up to our cave, we'd have some way of defending other than with just Bloodstalkers. And at this point, with Bloodstalkers being so popular because it's still, within the first hour of wipe, trying to get one is just a waste of time in my opinion. So I went over to the snow to look for a Theory. I hope I've got enough shots to knock this thing out. No. Really, game? Let's go, knock the Theory out. So this next clip is going to be a little bit confusing as the server ended up going down to fix some issues and I ended up stopping my recording just because there was no point in recording for 10 minutes straight waiting for the servers to come back up, and I ended up forgetting to click record again. So yeah, now we have an Indie Forge and a new crafting station. And I also ceilinged out a bit on the base, so yeah, you kind of missed a bit of building, but, irrelevant stuff. Now, originally I ended up finding a Stego and it came out with 5.9k HP, almost 6k. However, I didn't really like it. So I sat in base for about 10 minutes, and when I went outside, I ended up finding another male with 5.3k pre-tame, and we kind of got sort of a decent roll. It ended up coming out with 7.1. However, I paused my recording and didn't enable it until I ended up getting back in base and uncryoed it. So yeah, you won't see me taming it.
How much health is that?
7.1.
7.1. We have more than you, I think.
No, what the fuck? I was at 8.4.
Oh yeah, only because you traded. You had 7.1.
We didn't trade.
You had like 6.8 for the longest time. Don't even cap.
It wasn't 6.8, first of all.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was 6.9.
Male with the HP, let's go. At this point, it was getting to about 3 o'clock in the morning for me, and we still hadn't done a boss fight. So instead of finishing the wall completely, I decided to go over to center with Vib to go and do the alpha center, so that then we would both have the engrams, and at least then he could stay on for a little bit longer and finish off the wall.
Try and start boss.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Oh, you're here as well.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, quick crow.
Hurry up and cry.
Get talented, bruh.
I'm uploading my stalker just so that it doesn't, in case we die.
I don't care enough.
I do.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Is there a kid there?
Yeah.
Get in.
We're getting
You guys are
counted.
gone.
Upload that.
Oh, you know what I'm doing.
You're gonna parachute when you get out of the boss, boys.
Come in, Chantiqo. Not Charles, remember. Should we just popcorn alley then, in case we get counted?
Yeah, popcorn early.
Okay. I mean,
We
I
don't
don't
need
care.
it anyway.
We have 1,000 on gen, so I don't give a shit. Done. Nice. Good stuff. How much did you get?
148 is default.
Oh. Chuck it there, daddy.
Should I keep half and you keep half?
How
So
much
that
have
then
you
if
got?
we get 148, so pick that up, split half and then drop half of it, because then we'll have enough still to make a replicator.
Right.
Just because if one of us dies, then you still have enough.
If I can
Oh,
sprint,
I can
I'm gonna run the other way. And like parachute up.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
We just block each other. I'm good.
I'm survived.
I'm
There's
good.
Bloodstalker, Bloodstalker.
There's two. Stalker's already dead.
Dead.
We can just do it. They have the team. Just run. They still fighting? Oh, they ran as well. No, they're still fighting. Fuck it, we'll have them.
Bro. They have heavies. I broke his legs.
There's a sympathy. The guy with no legs is pushing up. Do you want to stay and fight this, or do we want to?
I do, yeah. He's pushing again. I think. They're playing grapples.
You gotta cut it, yeah?
Kinda cringe, yeah.
I'm pushing this kid from behind.
Killed him.
Nice. I'm mobbing.
Get it.
Yeah, got it. Nice.
Behind you.
No way.
No legs.
Oh, almost bowled you. Fuck. Oh, I didn't know I was that close to the fob. Or just turrets. Can I dip from this situation?
Killed him.
Can you grapple that kit though?
Yeah. Should be able to.
Anytime. Have I got flames?
You do?
No, I was asking if I have flames myself. I don't.
Wait, you. Wait, they have a PT here.
Where did they die?
I see it.
They called you out for bot. No way.
Recording. I got the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling out a YouTuber for bot. Stinky bastards.
I want to check what's in there.
PT.
BT. Oh, the 36 armor saddle. That's
Very
it.
easy with cheats.
We took our element and went and hid it, as well as the extra kits that we got, and went back to base. Now, I did end up giving up on the wipe as things just got a little bit boring. The fact that you could get heavy turrets before even getting level 100 was sort of retarded. Not only that, heavy turrets only cost 200 metal to craft, as well as the normal resources. However, it just meant that everyone was going to have a load of heavy turrets before you could even raid, which means there would have been no early game PvP. It would have just been a load of people in heavy turret bases, and that's about it. Not only that, stegos were banned for like the first 4 hours of wipe, which means by the time everyone had stegos, like people already had bases big enough to, you know, survive enough stegos, and we didn't have a stego BP, which meant there wasn't going to be really much content to get. So yeah, I sort of gave up on it, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. With that being said though, boys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.